Hello!
Konnichiwa!
We're back from our trip to Japan, as some of you might have seen from our posts and stories, and we're here to share the knowledge of just some tips how to best organize and plan your trip.
Some do's, some don'ts.
Yes, Japan is open after 3 years of being closed to tourists, and we know that many people will also want to go like us. So this is our tips, starting with before you go. So, what to do before you go? First of all, make sure you have a passport that is valid for the duration of your stay, of course. Second, you might want to pre-buy a data SIM or even a phone SIM if you have more money for Japan. Although for tourists there are special data SIMs that you can buy. This is what we bought too. We got a SIM that was unlimited data for 16 days.
So helpful.
It was around, I think, 45 euros. So we will not advertise the brand. There are many brands to choose from, but even if you don't buy it, there are many offices and vending machines in the airport that you can get your SIMs, although we suggest that you pre-buy it. It will help immensely, instead of searching for the offers there, to have done your research, because there is a big variety of prices, of data caps. Some of them say they're unlimited, and then in the fine print they say that if you do more than 5 gigabytes you will have a slower speed.
So instead of just looking around and trying to see what is best for you right there and then, it's easier and faster to pre-buy it.
And another thing that you can pre-buy is the JR Pass for the trains. Just be sure that this will be good for you, for your pocket, your wallet, whatever you use.
And this is based in what you want to see in Japan.
Especially if you're gonna use the Shinkansen or not. If you're not gonna use the Shinkansen, most probably it will not be good for you to buy it. It's better, if you don't use the Shinkansen, to buy a card like Pasmo or Suica or whatever. We got Pasmo, let me show you. Here are the cards. You can even get them personalized at the the ticket machines you see here. You can write your name, it's a very nice souvenir. And you can even buy ticket holders. We got some anime ones from Evangelion, but there are many ones to buy from, they're very nice. So, how to know if the JR Pass is good for you? We were there for 2 weeks, and we got the JR Pass only for the 1 week that we went to Osaka, because only from the Shinkansen price from Tokyo to Osaka and back, the JR Pass had already paid for itself.
Any other transfer like from Osaka to Kyoto or Nara, etc., it was all a bonus.
Yes, so this was very good for us. If we had bought one for 14 days, we would have lost money, because what we used in Tokyo did not cover the expense of a JR Pass. So you are very limited, you must know that, because you can only travel with JR lines, which are plenty in Tokyo, but they don't cover all areas, and sometimes you have to do like circles to go somewhere. Yeah, no, walk is not an option in Tokyo. We'll talk about that later. And sometimes there are private lines, other private lines that they can get you from one place to another directly. So for that, it's better if you just buy the cards like Pasmo, Suica, etc. Or if you buy like a tourist pass for 1, 3, 5, 7 days for Tokyo, that covers most of the private lines.
And again, it all depends on what you want to do in Japan.
So this covers before you go, and now let's go to
when you arrive.
So when you arrive, what you want to do? Pick up your suitcases.
First and foremost.
And pick up anything that you have pre-bought, like the JR Pass, the mobile card. The JR Pass, don't worry, you pick it up, they give you the normal JR Pass, because what you get in your country is the buying receipt that you have to have with you to buy the JR Pass. But the JR Pass is activated the first time that you use it. So you can buy it even 10 days before, just take it at the airport, and when you activate it, then it will start counting the days. So when you have picked up everything, then you have to go to transportation.
So you have to use transportation in Tokyo in particular.
Because the distances are huge.
Don't walk. Don't even try.
Even if in the map it seems like a small distance, it's usually more than 30 minutes walk.
Lies.
Yeah, we walked, but we suggest that
you don't.
you don't do it all the time. It's very tiring.
There are signs everywhere. You will not get lost.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be pretty dumb to get lost. I mean, I don't know how people get lost. I mean, there are like signs every 5 meters to go there, exit there, exit there. I don't think we ever got lost in any, even in the big stations like Shibuya, Shinjuku. I think we found the exit pretty quickly if you.
They have everything in Romaji anyway, οπότε, so yeah.
In English.
They have everything in English, so you will not get lost.
So there are also buses, which you can also use with your cards. You just scan them. Some buses you only scan once and you pay the ticket immediately. Some other buses, for example in Kyoto, it was like this. You scan when you enter and you scan when you exit, and you pay a fare adjusted to the distance that you traveled, how many stops.
Anyway, even if you find difficulties with your card or your JR pass, there is always someone that will help you.
Yeah, if for some curious reason it gets rejected, sometimes it happens. Yeah, as Eva said, you go to the station master that is right at the ticket gate, usually on the left or the right. There is a window with a person. You go there, and they reset your card or adjust your card or
just check it to let you pass.
Yes. So another thing about the cards is how you recharge them, although we will make another video for this in our TikTok. In order to recharge your card, you go to the machine, there are instructions in English. Just be careful because it writes with big letters like this, like 1000, 2000, 5000, but there is a small button on the right that says do it in 10 yen increment, and over there you can charge as much as you want with custom. It took us a while to find this button because you see the big letters, you go 1000.
Yeah, but there is a button for the 10 yen, so you can just put
like 50 yen, yes. 200, 360, whatever you want.
Anything with a zero.
There is an option. It's just down in the right corner, a small button.
Oh, come on, it's not that small.
It's small. So, you take the train and you arrive.
The hotel.
So, hotels in Japan.
Quite different than any other place we've been.
First of all, let's clarify that we are, let's say, mid-budget travelers. We don't go to hostels, but we also don't go to luxury hotels. So we think for what we say will stand for more people that come from similar income countries like Greece. Maybe not the Americans, not countries with higher incomes, but...
our experiences are with European hotels.
Yes. So hotels in Japan are small. They're so freaking small. That it was the first time that I had no wardrobe in a hotel. You had to just put all your clothes in hangers around the room. Sometimes the WC is really small. In one of the hotels I could not just sit because I'm quite tall, so my knees just were against the wall. Just be careful of that.
I mean, think of the smallest apartment you've been, then cut it in half.
Yeah. So all the hotels also you have to be careful because some of the hotels have ofuro, which means this bathtub that they go in. So you have to make sure when you book that it also writes shower if you want to shower. Otherwise, you might be in for a bad surprise. Anyway, it's surprising how they have found solutions for such small spaces to accommodate for everything.
They do get the bed, big beds inside.
Yes, and the bed gets all the room of the hotel, and you have a small working space.
You have to travel minimally.
The good thing is that they had these very nice shaders that cut out the sun, so people like me don't wake up from 6 o'clock in the morning, because like in the European hotels.
They do have a lot of sun.
And of course, the plugs are different than in Europe. I think they're the same as in the USA. And they also have 100 volt, not 200 volts. So The mobile chargers, actually every charging works okay with 120 volt. Only you will have issues like with if you have bigger devices like I don't know, hair dryers. But these things they also provide.
They provide a lot of things like hair dryers. They even provide you with pajamas. They even provide
pajamas.
You,
Every hotel gave us pajamas. In Europe, no
every
hotel.
Every day they gave us new pajamas, new towels, new amenities. They gave us toothbrushes. They gave us even hair curlers.
Yeah, many things.
Hair curlers, because a woman must look very nice with her curls. Their hair. I mean, it's amazing. They had lots of soaps. Lots of soaps.
Yeah, different soaps, conditioner, shampoo, and to do your hair, your face. Anyway, it was nice but small.
They had these amazing toilets.
Yeah, the toilets.
The
toilets are so amazing. You press the button and you hear it, and you think that someone will go up your but no, just water, nice hot water comes out and sprinkles everywhere. And if you press it a second time, it oscillates. I don't know, we're not native English speakers anyway. Feel free to write in the comments. So yeah, and you're so clean. I don't know, Eva did the other thing that's for the front.
I did both.
Yes, I mean the front is the same.
Yes. It's the same, but it's so good.
Yeah, and you're totally clean. That's why usually you don't even have to use. You just put some paper, and that's why their toilet paper is so thin. I think because you just take the water off and nothing else. You don't have to.
You just use it for the water to get dry.
Also, the WC most of the time it's heated, so you sit down. It's already preheated.
Heated
floor. Not in every hotel, but
most hotels.
Yeah.
Heated floor, heated mirror.
So after the hotel, it's time for the first impressions. Oh my God, so many people.
Lots of people.
I'm already a bit, agoraphobic and all that, the nerd. So for me, it was.
When you're introverted, you understand.
Like so many people everywhere, especially in the train stations. I mean, like a sea of people. You see Shibuya crossing as usual, as in the movies.
For me, it was how organized everything was, and even people were queuing for everything. There were so many people, but they were always queuing, and there were always everywhere instructions for every single little thing. Everything.
Yeah, stop here, do that, wash your hands here. There are small signs for everything.
Everything, even the way you walk at the street.
Yeah, line up left, line up right, do queue here, queue there.
Cut the queue to go there.
Yes. There were signs like if you queue here and you reach this spot, then continue the queue across the street. Nice things. So, speaking of that, let's talk about the
queues.
Queuing in Japan is very common. So if you want to go to some semi-popular or popular place, you can expect that you will queue for it.
It's an art form.
Yeah, some very few places have the Chinese system where you get a number and you can come back later with your number. But in Japan, usually people just queue.
And there is another thing with the queue. That they have the Chinese system with the Japanese system. For example, you do get the number, but you also have to line up.
You get the number in order to get to the queue later. It was a bit of a surprise, this one. So expect to queue like from 30 minutes up to 1.5 hours. I don't think we ever queued for more than that. And a very bad byproduct of this is that when you go somewhere to eat where there are queues, people urge you to eat very fast so the people in the queue can come in. So it's very hectic because you go somewhere, you want to enjoy the food, but then everyone is like...
Yeah, you have to eat fast and then just leave.
So you wait in the queue like for 1 hour, 1.5, and then you have to be in there for 5-10 minutes, eat fast and leave. Yeah, for us in Greece that was a bit of...
Because for us, eating and staying somewhere to eat is an art form.
It's very important for our culture. I mean, eating or drinking coffee and staying there for hours and talking,
They have it with big signs too, like do not socialize.
Yeah, in many restaurants it was like do not socialize, eat and leave. Especially ramen shops, not restaurants. In ramen shops.
Mostly
usually,
ramen shops, mostly. The popular ramen shops. Because they were very small, they always have.
And speaking of queues, let's talk about another thing. How people don't steal in Japan, which was very surprising. We first saw that in queues because people usually when you go like to Starbucks or a cafe, another cafe, you just leave your stuff there on the table or on your, to reserve the table, and then you go to order. Okay, that's normal sometimes, but people left valuables. I mean, mobile phones, wallets, laptops. I mean, if you do this in Greece and you go to the queue,
in 5 seconds time,
yeah,
they're gone.
They're gone. You're never gonna find them again. In Japan, they left them there. They went to the queue. They left their bicycles to go in the supermarket without locking them down. That's
and they sometimes they would leave the supermarket and go do other stuff. They would just leave it there.
Yeah. Just you see a bike and no one steals it. I mean, this is
people left their suitcases. People left everything.
This is nice actually. That you don't have to be afraid of being robbed.
It's actually quite liberating.
Yeah. But that was nice. Yeah. In general, I don't think there's much small petty crime in Japan. So yeah, that's good, I guess.
So you have gone to the areas where you can find food. You have gone to the queue. You've gone through the queue. Now, time for the food.
The food.
The food.
The food. The food is amazing.
The food was amazing.
Yes.
The food was amazing. You could find the worst kind of food is better than what you expect.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like even. For example, the ramen that we ate a lot because we like it.
I love ramen.
She loves it. In Japan, like there are the medium ramen was like the best one in Greece. I mean, it was like the good one was mind blowing.
And even the worst kinds of ramen places were also very good. Yeah. Because they would give you, they might not be the best quality, but they do give you quantity.
Quantity for very cheap. I mean, like, there were some that were as low as €6. And yeah, like a big bowl of, not very good tasty, but a huge bowl of
just like, eat!
Yeah, like that.
Medium ramen shops also are quite large. You do not have to queue there.
Yeah, medium quality means. Yeah, they have lots. It depends. Yeah, it's like if you want like fine dining or if you want like fast food, because it's always fast.
It's very fast.
Yeah, but another thing in Japan is that they have a lot of snacks everywhere, mostly fried or with lots of sugar, so not very hygienic.
Sugar.
Yeah, it's a miracle that they are not all like fat, like another certain country. Anyway, so. Lots of sugar everywhere. No?
You cannot escape it.
Sweet. The bread is sweet. I mean, oh my god.
If you don't get something that is tea flavored or something very traditionally Japanese thing,
yeah, it will have lots of sugar.
It will have sugar.
Or it will be fried. Like lots of fried chicken. Still, I mean, I was in Japan like 15 years ago, and I still remember the fried chicken everywhere, and there's still fried chicken everywhere. But if you want to eat on a budget. On a real budget, you can eat at Konbinis. Konbinis are the 24/7 stores in Japan.
So good.
It's so good, yes, so good that you can, whenever you want something, like a small thing or food or drink, you can just go to a Konbini. Usually you can even make your ramen there. They have hot water boilers. They have ovens that they can heat your food for you and you can eat it on the spot.
Microwave ovens or even normal ovens.
Speaking of the food, usually you have to eat and drink at the place where you buy the food, even if it's a street vendor, because there are no garbage bins almost anywhere. There are garbage bins for cans and bottles at the vending machines that are almost everywhere. And for the other things, there is nothing. You just eat there by the side of where you bought it and you give your garbage to the store owner and they throw it away in their bin cartons.
And this also is another culture shock, because for us in Europe, for example, we do like to see stuff and eat at the same time. This is not acceptable.
Yes.
Not acceptable.
And you cannot do it anyway, because if you do it, you will have all this dirty stuff that you have to put in a bag and carry the bag with the garbage with you.
And you will carry it everywhere.
Until the hotel, because you cannot. Okay, for bottles and cans, you can't find, as I said, in the convenience and stuff like that. But for the other garbage, yeah, either you have to go to another convenience or something and put it like a. Put it in their own garbage.
Okay, now let me stop you with the garbage right over there. Because you said about getting food that you can heat. They already have heated food there anyway. Fresh food, very nice food. They had fried, fresh food, and they have dumplings, and they have very nice mochi, and they have very nice hot melon pans. They're very good.
Yes. Also in Japan, as you know, you can get all kind of snacks.
Lots and lots of snacks. People there love their snacks.
So I have here some of the snacks that we bought that you cannot easily find elsewhere, like Pocky Sticks with green tea flavor.
You can find Pocky Sticks, but not green tea flavor.
At least not in Greece.
More Pocky. This with almond crunch. They say almond crunch, but it's crunchy.
Also, they have lots and lots of weird Kit Kat flavors. I mean, there are peach, melon, what else? Orange, I don't remember.
Sakura flavor, banana flavor.
And here's another one.
Yeah.
Sake flavor.
Usually those are limited editions.
Another one that we found is the strawberry cheesecake Kit Kat. Anyway, Kit Kat in Japan just makes stuff.
Yeah, and it's amazing.
And you can also get like matcha flavored things like the Pockies. For example, this is latte, coffee latte. Matcha. This is green tea matcha. And you also get, because that was a Sakura season when we went, I mean just before the Sakura season, you get lots of Sakura things like Lipton Sakura tea. And you can also get like Sakura flavored donuts in the Starbucks. This is over by now.
Yeah, they had the Sakura latte, the spring latte, the Sakura matcha latte, the Sakura donut, the Sakura matcha donut. They had all these as a pre-seasonal limited edition thing.
And another thing that I have to say about Japan is the packaging of all those things, because it's a bit different from us, from in Europe at least, because they have lots of plastic. Usually you got plastic around, you open it, there's lots of plastic inside, because sometimes, for example, you get cookies, and each cookie might be in its own plastic, which I get it from one perspective, because they have lots of humidity, and they don't want them to go bad. But,
lots of humidity.
But also like one plastic per cookie, I think it's a bit too much, even if it's recycled.
Oh, it's very good if you want to share.
Yes, for example, the Pockies, they have this. They call it Share the Happiness. There are 2 packs inside. So both people can share. Finally, talking about food, we have to mention the coffee. The coffee which we both love, and in Japan it was a big blow because in Japan they don't know about coffee.
Coffee is something very exotic, I guess.
Most of the things, they have only 3 coffees to choose from. 4, sorry. They got what they call iced coffee, which is called filter coffee. They have the hot coffee, yes, which is a hot filter coffee. They have the espresso, and they have the latte or olé. Café oré or olé in the French. It's the French one, the French word. Which usually, instead of being espresso with milk, in most cases it was filter coffee with milk, which was a shock to me because I like latte. Anyway, no cappuccinos almost anywhere. I think we only found in 1 or 2 places cappuccino out of the
fancy
20.
Places.
Yeah. And Starbucks, of course.
Starbucks is Starbucks.
Yeah, it's
they
the
do
same
have
all over the world. And no like weird stuff, weird milks, no nothing, only soy milk.
You have to go somewhere really fancy and quite expensive to find a decent coffee,
yeah,
or a coffee from different places.
Yes, and the coffees that they had, I did not like the taste really. It was not so nice. I mean, in Greece, usually even in the smallest cafe you can choose between 2 or 3 varieties of coffee.
And they are strong.
Here they were like, yeah, so if you're a coffee lover, don't expect to get your coffee in Japan. Maybe it's better to get from the vending machines, the ready espresso coffees. They're much better in my opinion and stronger.
They're stronger, and the black varieties are quite good because they are a bit watered down, so they're not too... That's another thing. They are watered down. Don't expect a strong espresso.
Yeah. Anyway, so we ate, we drank coffee. It's time to play at the arcades.
Arcades!
Yeah, the arcades were awesome. I mean, in Greece we don't have arcades since many years
This
ago.
is the mecca of arcade machines.
Yeah, and usually the arcades... actually, let's go from the beginning. We went to two types of arcades. We went to retro arcades, mostly in Osaka, and we went to modern arcades. Okay, the retro arcades, what do you expect? Dark, dirty place with old arcades. It was nice. Yeah, okay.
Weird older people playing there.
Or in some arcades, because we went by the night, there were young couples that were... I'm pretty sure they went there to kiss, because in the entrance they had a sign that said no couples or something.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So
there was that, and there was also the other thing. Couples like us that would go to photo shoot.
Yeah, to play together and take videos.
Yes.
Yeah. And also the modern arcades, they're usually in many floors. Most of the floors, for some reason, there are these stupid crane games that you can never win. Like it's usually 3 out of 6 floors, something like that.
But
the other floors are thematic, usually.
Yes.
Depending on the arcade, it can be, for example, a floor with all the fighting games, another floor with all the rhythm games, another floor with all the card games, because now arcades have cards, collectible cards that you buy and you put them on the machine. We'll make a video about that. And for example, there is an army game like with battles from medieval Japan and China that you buy cards and the cards are army troops and you put them on the map.
They probably have some surface that they can scan or something because
NFC chips most probably.
Probably.
And you control the army with the cards.
That was next level.
And other collectible things like with mechs that you buy cards and the cards are the mechs or the pilots, and also lots of waifu games.
Many waifu
Mech
games.
with waifus, Bomberman with waifus, waifus with waifus.
And one of my favorite waifu game, the Space Conductor or something like that, which was a mini world waifu game. You find them in a mini home area, and you have them in a dollhouse, and then you gave them clothes and stuff, and then you just put them to fight in great mecha greatness, and yes, like Capture the Flag or something game, I don't remember, but you have your main waifu collecting stuff in the game, in the fight, and then the other waifus that are behind in the dollhouse are cheering you on in another screen. And it's amazing. And of course, they also have put on the screens the touch system.
Yeah,
there are many touch screens.
Especially the rhythm games that you
Yeah, the conductor I said, it's also a touch screen game.
Yeah. So, another thing about the arcades, you can eat, they are very cheap because they have ramen with hot water also that you can get most of the time. You do your break from the arcades, you eat a bit and then you go on. Also don't worry about money, they have money changing machines, you put up to 10,000 yen note and they give you coins and change, it's very nice. So you go there, you get your coins, you go to play, you eat, you go to play, you spend all the day. No.
I mean, it was an experience.
Yeah, it was very nice and the modern games are also very nice.
It is loud.
Yeah, very loud.
Very loud.
Especially the rhythm game floor, I mean, sometimes can be too loud.
That's why most people playing there, we didn't realize it until later, they have their own headphones. So that they can just hear their own music.
Yes. Yes, noise cancelling headphones are really, really useful in these places.
Mm-hmm.
Also, some machines, especially fighting games, have a USB that you can plug your joypad. If like me, you cannot play with the stick very well, you can put your joypad or whatever. And there was also the typing of the dead that had keyboards.
Yes!
We will also put video of that later.
They had they had all the House of the Dead. House of the Dead 1,
yeah,
2,
that
3, 4,
arcade,
and then the typing of the dead in the corner, it was amazing.
So, where do you go for arcades? In Tokyo, you go mostly to Akihabara.
Or Akiba.
Yeah, in Osaka you go to, I think it's called Dotonbori, if I remember where, the neighborhood. When we do the arcade video episode, we will have...
the Shinsekai.
Yeah, Shinsekai had some retro arcades. And there is another area to the north of Osaka, of Namba, to the very north of Namba, that has also many retro games. We did not go to that one. We didn't have time. And in Tokyo, you go to Akihabara, as we said. There are many, they're all there. You know, in the main avenue, you cannot miss them. There's Gigo, Hei, Taito Center. In April, a new one will open too from Bandai Namco. And also there are the otaku shops, or the figure collectible shops. So these shops have everything. Also multi-floor shops usually. They have video games, collectible figures,
consoles,
porn, figure porn, normal porn, comic porn. Okay, yeah.
Extreme porn.
They have a lot of things, but they also have figures. Like this Mandarake, Suragaya. These are the two that I remember right now. But there are also more there.
And there are many with retro.
Yeah, there are also in Akihabara there are four retro shops. Yes, and in Osaka also there are 4 or 5. There are more retro shops in Osaka for some reason than in Tokyo. Although it's a more smaller city, yeah, more retro arcades, more retro shops. I mean, the best places for retro gaming, it's definitely Osaka for me, not Akihabara.
Yeah.
In Osaka there was retro game paradise. Better prices too, if you want to buy retro games than in Tokyo.
So true. You can buy for quite a small price, all things considered, a new console with the games, plug them and play.
Yeah. And just be careful, go around many shops before you buy, because the variation in price is extreme.
Yeah.
I mean, really, you can find a figure, for example, 1,000 yen, 2,000 yen, 3,000 yen. It's not just like 100 and 200 yen.
With too many factors.
Yeah, big price difference. I mean, also second-hand stores that exist like a lot in Japan.
Yeah,
because things are because things are so expensive, especially in the, let's say, otaku area, like figures and stuff and games. I mean, the prices are extreme. Like t-shirts, 40 euros.
And if they're second hand, it's worse.
So that's why I have to say to the people who asked us things back in Greece, that's why we didn't get you, because they're so freaking expensive. Yeah. Like 40 euros for t-shirts, at least 70 euros.
T-shirt.
At least 70 euros for figures.
Small figures.
Yeah,
don't expect big figures.
Hoodies 80 euros or 90 euros. Posters starting from 20 euros. Acrylic stands.
20. The small one, you mean?
Acrylic stands starting also from 20 euros. No, not the small like
okay.
that. Yeah. The small ones were like 10.
Those was very small.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it was a
shock.
It was a shock.
So expensive. Every hobby.
Too expensive. You would see it. If you don't see it, you cannot understand it. It was not just a shock, actually. It was.
For me, it was a shock. I mean, I knew
it was frustration.
Expensive. Yeah, I cannot buy it. I wanted. I love this T-shirt. 40 euros.
If you don't have money, I mean, sucks for you.
Yeah, so go to second-hand stores like Book-Off, or Book-Off is a big chain.
Book-Off is a good thing.
It also has the Hard-Off, the Hobby-Off. It's the off chain. But there are also many stores that you can find, smaller ones, that have second-hand things in great quality. I mean, we only bought second-hand things, to be honest, but they were also great quality, everything.
Good thing to keep in mind. If you find something that you say, I could buy it because it's a middle price range for you, buy it, because most probably everywhere else is too expensive.
Or take a note where you found it, and the next day, if you don't find anywhere cheaper, go buy it. Also, for example, Eva got a Cecil figure from Final Fantasy 1, 2.
Final Fantasy 4.
4, yeah, I'm sorry.
4!
Okay, you're the one playing the Final Fantasies.
It's amazing. It was a great
what I
from
was trying
Dissidia.
to say, is that she got it so cheap on a second-hand store, because it was missing its base.
Not only the base, it was missing the box, It didn't have a box.
Yeah,
Big factor.
In second-hand stores, they usually don't have boxes.
Yeah, but if they do...
Yeah, if they do, they're very expensive.
They're very expensive. If they're unopened, they're too expensive. So it didn't have a box, it didn't have wrapping, it didn't have its own base, it didn't have most of the things. So it was very, very cheap because it was just Cecil.
Yeah, but it's a very beautiful figure.
We
don't care about the base,
yeah.
We put it against the wall and it looks very nice, and we got it like for 15 euros instead of 50 that it does normally. So it was a very great catch. So look around for second-hand things, that's our suggestion. Speaking of retro games in Osaka and Tokyo, let us talk about those two cities, the ones that we saw for most of the days. For me, Osaka was more laid back, more easy to move around.
As a foreigner,
the distance are smaller too. You can walk. I think we never used the metro, almost never in Osaka, only 2 times. We were walking everywhere.
Maybe 1 or 2 times.
And it was nice, very nice. But also it felt a bit dangerous. I mean, in Tokyo, I never felt being threatened. Not anywhere, even in the Kabukicho, not even in some other neighborhood, not even walking back to the hotel at 2 o'clock at night.
In Osaka, though.
In Osaka, yeah, there were some spaces, some places where there were some shady people giving you angry looks and it was a bit scary.
Yeah.
Or in some alleys. I don't know. In Osaka, I felt a little bit my spider sense tingling. In Tokyo, I did not feel it anywhere.
It's probably a cultural thing because if you go somewhere that is shady, it's like, what are you doing here? You didn't get lost. No.
Anyway,
but in Tokyo, though, you might get lost. That's why they just don't interact with you. So you feel safe because people will not interact with you.
That's Eva's opinion. My opinion is just that Tokyo is safer in general, a safer city. Other than that, I found Osaka to be a great base to visit Kyoto, and much cheaper too, because they're just like 30 minutes by train. Also, in my opinion, Osaka has a much better nightlife than Kyoto for sure, and maybe even more better than Tokyo. But this is subjective opinion.
Subjective. But it felt vibrant.
Yeah, it felt more vibrant. People were more active at night, more
Laughing,
happy. Most people going out in the streets, even not in very, touristy neighborhoods, even in other neighborhoods. That's why I say that. Because in Tokyo, yes, if you go to Roppongi and Shinjuku, yes, of course, in Shibuya. But in other neighborhoods, they're dead. In Osaka, even other neighborhoods had people going around. They had some.
They would go to the local bar. They would go to somewhere to drink.
It felt like it had more nightlife. People were more outgoing.
Something that I would like to talk about, though, is the fashion. A very big factor that you look like a foreigner in Japan is the fashion. The fashion there is very different.
Not the eyes.
Yeah, apart from the eyes thing, face, the structure. Apart from those, it's the fashion. Because their fashion is based on their traditional clothing most of the time. It's a very nice evolution, I would say. They have this very nice loose-fitting, the women mostly have loose-fitting coats and big skirts, just like their traditional clothing. And the men are almost always wearing suits.
I think that's good because most of the time they're working and they go out right after work. It's
Exactly.
not because they wear a suit in their everyday lives in weekends.
Exactly. The men are either wearing street clothing or also very loose fitting, or they're wearing their suits. Women have more of a pleat fashion.
At least at the time of recording this, March 2023.
It's a very beautiful fashion, but it doesn't fit people that don't have the same structure as the Japanese women, for example.
So if you're not, I think what I was trying to say, that if you're not very thin and your body is not like this.
If you don't have a lined structure in your body, if your body is anything other than a straight line, the boyish type, if it's not like that, it might not fit you. If you have a chest or extra bum or anything extra, you cannot wear. And I saw that with the plus size people too. People with plus size, people that are plus size in Japan, they don't have, they almost don't have fashion. They don't have clothes that will fit them. They wear only some athletic wear only. It's the only thing that will fit them. They don't have anything else.
I don't know because I never noticed fashion, so I cannot say opinion on that. What I can say is that many women wore skirts. I saw that too.
In Osaka, it was a bit different. I mean, that was in Tokyo. It was a big difference in Tokyo. You could spot a woman from Tokyo from miles away because she had this certain fashion sense. In Osaka, they had a bit different fashion sense. It was more of it looked like the more generic Asian fashion. Another thing in their fashion is their fabrics. They have very nice fabrics, woven fabrics mostly, and they have nice patterns printed on them. Again, an evolution from their traditional clothing. They have their geometric patterns or their flowers, and they're very expensive.
Yeah, very expensive.
The clothes are very, very expensive. If you want clothing that it's at least looking in the least sense of nice, yeah, you cannot most of the times buy it. You have to thrift again.
Yes, also lots of thrifting in clothes too, like in the otaku stuff, because they're very expensive. Like
most thrifting in clothing was not in the normal type of clothing, but in the Harajuku style clothing, like goth fashion, metal fashion,
streetwear,
Lolita fashion. Lots of thrifting in those fashion.
Because also they're very expensive.
Very expensive. Cosplay.
Yeah, also extremely expensive.
Let's talk about the cosplay. So you're a cosplayer, of course you would want to see the cosplay costumes and the cosplay stores in Japan. There are plenty of cosplay stores that are also very, very expensive. They do have everything. They have the contact lenses, they have their wigs, they have the costumes, they have everything you would ever need for a cosplay costume. Everything. But they're very expensive. Too expensive, in fact. I mean, think expensive and then add some more.
Yeah, I mean, like a medium quality uniform, like 150 euros.
And they are all mass production stuff most of the time. If you buy them custom made, it's maybe triple that price.
Yeah, we don't know because we did not even ask someone to make a costume.
We didn't ask anyway, yes.
But we saw the prices in even the second-hand shops. I mean, the prices were out of this world. I mean,
yeah, and we're talking about, as I said, mass production stuff. It's a very expensive hobby. That's why it also has a second. It also has a sub hobby, which is doll cosplay.
Yeah, oh my god, I never expect to see that.
Yeah, you can buy dolls.
Also extremely expensive.
Yeah.
We will show videos and pictures of that when the time comes.
Where you can just cosplay those and paint those the way you want to.
You can buy heads, wigs, hair, fingers, bodies, and then all the clothes of characters or normal clothes. And yeah, it's called cosplay. I mean, if you go to shops, there is the doll cosplay on the same floor always.
Yes, and it's they also have props. They have everything. It's just really expensive.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do it if you didn't feel too passionate about it. You could have one hobby. That's it, because it's very expensive.
And speaking of expensive, let's close this video with the money. As you know, in Japan they have the yen. You can buy things with your credit card, but it's mostly a cash country. I mean, some shops only take cash and some restaurants. And my suggestion is either bring cash yen from your country, although there is a limit. You can search in the Travel Japan site, or exchange at the airport at the best price you can find, because then in the city it's very difficult to find exchange shops that will offer good rates. Usually the rates are abysmally bad if you go like Shibuya, Shinjuku, things like that. In Osaka, right in the center, we found a shop that gave us great rates. I mean, great, very close to the worldwide ones. But in Tokyo, it was very sad state of affairs, so better have all your yen ready. And keep in mind that in most of these shops, there will be like ATMs that will do everything automatically. There will be not a person. You will go in, put your dollar, euros, whatever you have.
Not ATMs, exchange machines.
Yeah, exchange ATMs. So you put your money, you get your yens out. They're very convenient.
You put money, you get money.
And then you get your sweet money and you go off to buy stuff. And this is all from us for the generic Japan info. We'll have more videos the coming days with specific stuff that we care about, like games, arcades, retro games, figures and stuff. And goodbye for now.
Bye bye.